Welcome to my review of Sea of Stars, a pretty cool turn-based RPG that came out this year, bearing resemblance to some of the GOATs like Chrono Trigger, and nobody else because Chrono Trigger is the best RPG to ever exist. Originally, I wanted to do this review in, regular review format, going just straight forward at it, but after experiencing this game, I think it would be best to review it by telling you how I felt during each period of time playing this game. I'll do them in like 10-hour formats because this game, in my opinion at least, has some high highs and some low lows. But without further ado, let's get into it. Starting off by discussing hours 1 through 10, and more like 1 through 7. Because by hour 7 of this game, I honestly was considering uninstalling it. This is where you are introduced to your main characters to the game, Zale, Valier, and Gal. The two mentioned before are not characters, those are pretty much blank slates until the story calls to them to, show a little bit of emotion. And Gal is pretty much our protagonist, honestly. He always stepping forward. He always calling the shots low-key, even though he ain't special in any way whatsoever. We are the special ones, Zale and Valier. This is also where you are introduced to the game's combat system. It's your typical turn-based RPG combat with a little bit of interactivity. Like you can press X when you attack at the right time to do a second attack. Some spells you could tap to keep them going, or you can press and hold to add more damage. Just a sprinkle of interest to keep you awake for the most boring part of the game, in my opinion again. You also get introduced to the main antagonist, well, at least the main antagonist group of this section. And could you guess what the names are? I'm going to put the names up on screen right now. Try to guess what the main villains, for now at least, names are. If you chose any of the names mentioned before, you are incorrect. Their names are 1, 2, 3, and 4. I also want to take a moment here to really praise the game developers for the consistency in delivering beautiful sprites and animations throughout this entire game. If there's anything they got right, like 10 out of 10 perfectly, it's their sprites and animations, and sometimes cutscenes. And this quality also extends to their level designs and level visuals. Now I'll tell you my main issues and why I was honestly considering uninstalling this game. You don't unlock any new moves in Sea of Stars until like the 7th hour, and using the same moves over and over and over and over can get pretty fucking repetitive, especially when some of the moves have little interactivity, like Moonerang for example. This move, you just need to keep hitting it X at the right time to deflect it. Now imagine doing that like 100 fucking times for like 7 hours, or using Fireball for 7 hours, or using Throw, which is Hurl, which is honestly the worst version of that move I have ever seen in an RPG. You can't even hurl enemies at each other or anything for 7 hours. These hours of the game are honestly, in my opinion, the complete weakest. This is boring, it is uninteresting, the story, I ain't gonna lie, it was putting me to sleep too. Like, I was getting ready to tap out, as I said earlier. I was fully prepared to call this game mid and just drop it, but I continued. Moving on to hours 8 through 18. This is where you get your 4th party member, Sarai, and she has some pretty cool animations, not going to lie. She is a slight breath of fresh air considering that I have been using the same 6 moves, and we get hit with one of the lamest fucking plot twists I've ever seen, bro, because I'm honestly supposed to care about this plot twist right here, when I've only interacted with the characters that are involved in the plot twist like 3 fucking times, bro. I did not care. A matter of fact, this was pushing me even further to uninstall the game. Plot twist was so mid that it put the old man to sleep, and I damn near almost joined him. Also, while we're here, let me tell you more about the game combat mechanics. Enemies have special attacks that they charge up. When they start charging, you have a certain amount of turns to break that charge by hitting them with the corresponding element. If you don't break that charge, well, die. You also have combo moves with a combo meter that fills up as you do perfectly timed hits, blocks, hit enemies with the corresponding elements, things like that. And within these hours here, you'll unlock your first ultimate attack, which is pretty coolly animated in my opinion. Coolly, is that a word? I mean, I know it's a word, but it's not a word I should be saying if you're from my country at least. Also, I forgot to mention, this game actually has some pretty decent music for the most part. And I'd consider some of the tracks bangers personally, like the battle theme, for example. When you're making a turn-based RPG game, you need to make sure that that battle OST is absolute fire, because you got me hearing it every single time you go into battle. You know, like how Persona had that last surprise, Final Fantasy had that do. Yeah, that's my impersonation, bro. I ain't a fucking musical instrument. And this one is pretty good. I'll let you have a listen to it. Yo! Ah! Also, a cute little detail that I like to point out is how the loading screen changes depending on how your party is ordered. You know, it has different sprites to everybody. I like that. I like little details like that. Also, throughout the game, you'll encounter some little puzzles. None that is ever, you know, rack the brain or make you think outside the box in any way. But, you know, it's a nice little bit of spice to flavor up the monotony of doing the same thing over and over in the combat. At this point in the game, I could say I was having about a slightly above average experience. I still wanted to stop playing the game, but I decided if I wanted to give this game a fair review, I have to complete it, you know. And I'm kinda glad I didn't drop it, because I actually got introduced to my favorite character in the game in like the last 4 hours or so, which I'm going to talk about now. Honestly, yeah, fuck hours 19 to 25. We're about to talk about hours 26 to 30, where the game was actually fun. This is the end game, where you have every single member of your party unlocked, all the skills, all the combo moves, all the ultimates. This is where Sea of Stars is its most fun, in my opinion. The ability to have so many characters to switch out and choose from to see different animations, different combo attacks, different skills at any given time really adds a lot to the main flow of combat. It doesn't feel monotonous and repetitive anymore, because you could constantly see a different animation on screen, compared to the early game where you had like 6 that you had to watch over and over and over. This is also where I unlock my favorite character, Bzz, and just look at him, bro. Look at his sprites, look at his animations. He always doing something different at some point, shaped in some different way. I just love looking at this character, honestly. During these last 4 hours, I could confidently say that I was having fun and enjoying the time spent with Sea of Stars. Too bad that majority of it wasn't as enjoyable as this section to me personally, but it is what it is, you know. I enjoyed the little time I had. Also, I didn't mention that it have, you know, a couple little side activities you could partake in, like this mini game over here. And overall, I'll give Sea of Stars like a 7 out of 10. This is just how I honestly felt during the game. Like, no sugarcoating. This is my truth, as the host be saying. I guess I could talk about the story more, but honestly, I ain't that much invested. Like, if you want to go and experience this middle story, hey, be my guest, bro. To me personally, it was sleep, and the only time I was hyped was when they said the name of the game, and it was more like a meme, to be honest. If you make it this far, like, comment, subscribe, all that, and peace. Also, feel free to drop a game that you would like to see reviewed in the comment section.